My name was Juliette LaRouche, the secretary of the lady killer. Benjamin Jarrett, apart from his daily necessities, I was mainly in charge of handling all the issues he had with his girlfriends on his behalf. In layman's terms, I should send the women he liked to his bed. When he had gotten sick of a woman, however, I needed to make her disappear from his life. After working in this position for a long time, I inevitably had some unrealistic fantasies. I wanted to be Benjamin's woman too. Benjamin was generous to all his girlfriends, despite the fact that he had no love for them. Not to mention all kinds of expensive gifts like cars, houses, and pieces of jewelry when he was pursuing them. Every woman whom he had broken up with was compensated $150,000 as a breakup fee. I did some calculations and found out that Ms. Xena Hamilton had dated him for the shortest time. She had only been dating him for a week before she ended up offending him because of some ridiculous reason. Since then, she was quickly gotten rid of him. However, she too got the $150,000. It was clear that as long as one could become Benjamin's girlfriend, one would at least get $150,000 from him, even if it was just a one-night stand. He was like a money porter, tirelessly transferring the wealth produced from exploiting corporate slaves like us to his women. To us, he was an evil capitalist. To his girlfriends, however, he was a lovely philanthropist. In comparison, it was, of course, much more ideal to be Benjamin's woman. Yes, you heard me right. I, Juliette, Benjamin's secretary, had been longing to become his woman since forever. Unlike Yvette and the other women who wanted Benjamin, all I wanted was his wealth. I was not greedy. And it was not like I wanted a fortune. I would be satisfied as long as I had enough money to buy a mansion at the foot of Mount Torthbury, my hometown. I would be satisfied as long as I had enough money to buy a mansion at the foot of Mount Torthbury, my hometown. Of course, I didn't think I was being a gold digger. I was merely trying to get back the money Benjamin owed me in a different way. After all, he owed me overtime pay and emotional damage compensation as his ex-girlfriend splashed coffee on me and called me Marguerite Lee Hand. Other than that, he also had to compensate me for damaging my health because I had to be on standby all year round, and overworking caused irreversible damage to my youthful body. As for Benjamin's body, which I would eventually get in the process of being his woman, I should count it as the bonus he paid me. To be honest, I had been coveting his body for a long time. Back when I had just become his secretary, I went to his house to retrieve a document and happened to bump into him, who had just finished bathing. At that moment, he was merely wrapped in a white bath towel. His muscular chest, firm abdomen, wide shoulders, thin waist, and long legs was an unforgettable sight. However, the biggest problem I faced was that after 3 years of digging into Benjamin's private life, I still didn't know what kind of woman was his type. His previous girlfriends were all of different styles. Some were chubby, and some were thin. Some were beautiful and some mediocre. Some were outgoing and some introverted. Some were talkative and some reticent, while some were clever and some clumsy. I wondered whether he was actually doing a research project on the diversity of women. His girlfriends were so vastly different from one another that I couldn't find any similar traits whatsoever. Even the general belief that all men loved beautiful women didn't apply to him. Because among his many girlfriends, there were indeed a few of them who were just so mediocre looking that one wouldn't be able to identify them from the crowd. As yet, how they managed to impress him was still a mystery to me. However, I was immensely encouraged by that. After all, if Benjamin only loved beautiful women like other superficial rich people, someone as average as me would never be worthy of his attention. Although his taste in women was widespread and hard to comprehend, it had presented me with a chance to make him fall for me. As long as I was patient enough, I was confident that I would someday be able to crawl into his bed. I had to earn $150,000 from him, no matter what.